Hello, guys, my dear friends, my dear subscribers, and certainly everyone who is coming to me through Warm Showers. So, I would like to share with you my first bad experience, and actually, really bad experience from my perspective. From the guests whose name was Ignacio from Chicago, at least. And officially, he was born in Puerto Rico, he said. I don't know. Anyway, that guy actually write to me in a time when I was writing there. Actually, it is written on my account of Warm Showers that I'm not available as I'm actually, traveling. But actually, I just, let's say, came home for a few days. And I said, in that case, because I have some time just between the traveling, I can accept somebody for a day or two anyway, so it's not a problem. And I confirmed that I'm at home. If he can tell me, the exact date, he gave me a date, first two different dates, because he wasn't sure how long he will need from Croatia to Slovenia, to Novo Mesto. And later on, he actually said that he will probably come on certain date of 21st of July. And I said, okay, no problem, I can wait for you. And then in the morning of 21st, he actually already sent me a message that he's on the way, that he's just like 30 kilometers away, and that he will come around 11 in the morning. A bit surprised, because usually, people who are cycling, they're actually coming in the afternoon or just, before they, we go to bed. And I usually make them prepare them dinner, and we have some chat, or we go, to see the town or Novo Mesto, or maybe we do that next day, but doesn't matter anyway. So I said, okay, at around 11 o'clock. Later on, he sent me another email that he realized that it's a big hill in the front of him, and that those 30 kilometers will take him at least another 3 hours. I said, okay, no problem. So, another 3 hours of, let's say, a little bit of wait. And then he said that it will be probably the rain, and that he's just a kilometer and a half away, and he will probably, for kilometers and a half, you probably need 10-15 minutes. And because he actually, right before that we will go to eat something, I said, okay, I will wait for him, that, but I become really hungry after, that waiting time, so I make something to eat, some lunch for myself. And then suddenly he ring my phone over WhatsApp, and he said, I'm in the front of your building. I said, okay. I went down, opened the door, look right, left, nobody there. So I went back on my terrace, and I realized that he is on another side of the flats. Amazingly, he parked already a bicycle next to the one of the balconies down. I don't know how he actually planning to enter the building, because there is no doors on that side. But anyway, doesn't matter. I said, no, you need to come around, and the entry to the building is on another side. So he make around, and he told me later that Google show him that side. Doesn't matter, what Google show you, but you should start looking for the doors. Usually we enter, at least in Slovenia, through the doors. So anyway, I opened the doors, and he actually start putting the bicycle in, and he start second complaint over the email. He actually start asking me about questions about my name. My name is God. So if anyone have a problem with that, please don't contact me. Please, and don't come to me. Really, I'm sorry, but that's your problem, not mine. And I'm not really ready to accept your bullshit about that. So you should, take it somewhere else. Anyway, so he start even over the email. He already said, "Is that your real name? And is that's a little bit strange name? Can I call you with another name?" And I said, "Yes. Second, my name is Franci. So you can, if you really have a problem, you can call me just with Franci." But anyway, as soon as he entered, he actually asked me again, what the God mean, and I said, God mean love, so that's it. Oh, in which language and things like that. He started making a little bit. He become a little bit strange, at least from my perspective, because I'm really not, that's my name. I'm not really discussing that, except if you really like to know that God is love, we can talk about that. Doesn't matter. But anyway, and then I just mentioned, he asked me, yes, what I'm doing, and I said I'm preparing for myself for to running for a major in this town. And he have a look of me, oh really, in this town? I said yes. And then he said, oh, you're a bit strange, I think so, I'd rather go. I said, okay, no problem. If you like to go, why not? I opened the doors, and he start, going away. And I said, okay, bye, love you. And he said, no, you can't love me. You don't even know me. I was just like, okay, whatever. I mean, I don't know if you know Warmshowers. If you don't, that's a app, or actually it's an internet site if you don't have an app, where you actually accept people who are traveling with bicycles around the world. And in our midst now, I accept quite a lot of people from France, Turkey, China, Japan, I don't know, Denmark, and people come here. I usually prepare them a dinner, or, depends when they arrive. Sometimes lunch, sometimes they stay a day, sometimes they stay a few days. And I'm cooking for them, I'm taking care of them, they have a shower, they use the washing machine. And, that's all for free. It doesn't cost them nothing. So, if you come here into my house, here are my rules. Yes. And my name is my name. If you have a problem with that, don't ever come to me. If you have a problem with that and you are my subscriber, then, unsubscribe it. It's very easy. And the same if you have a problem with that I'm, doing some things like running for a major, or in some town or city, doesn't matter. If you have a problem with that, that's your problem, not mine. I'm sorry, I don't know how, maybe that's because he is American. At least he said that he is from Chicago, Illinois. And that he was born in Puerto Rico. That's all what I know. His name is Ignacio. And anyway, but on his profile, I saw that he was traveling a lot around the world. But that's really a bit strange from my perspective anyway. Usually I really host a little bit younger people. That was a little, first of, a little bit, let's say, older, probably maybe even older than I am. I don't know, because I never check his age. And I, write first negative review on the Warmshowers under his name. And I just wanted to explain, and that was really strange for me. Especially, if you're American and if you travel in Europe, and if you have a problem and you'd like to teach, I don't know, your views on some other people's names, or, their views on the life or on the love, and who can love you and who cannot, and things like that. I think so it's better that you, stay wherever you're, in your bubble, or how can I say? Because this is like a little bit of MAGA, I think, anyway. At least that was from my perspective. But that actually surprised me, because he was not, he was Puerto Rican. I mean, at least he said that he was born there. So he was not really a white, person. And so, that's first time when you're accepting somebody for free in your house, that somebody start giving you that sort of bullshit. And I don't know if you ever have that sort of experience. Please share with me, especially if you accept people from Warmshowers, because otherwise I actually have a lot of people here even who actually send me Merci, one lady from France who was traveling, and some girls from Turkey and Switzerland, from Malta, from all around the world. They actually come here, and I never have that sort of, let's say, I don't know, for me it was really bad experience. I was surprised that somebody like that is actually going around with that sort of, I don't know, from my perspective, that was a little bit hate, and what I feel here. And I was surprised. Maybe it's having some issues with himself, or some mental issues, I don't know. Anyway, so we didn't talk a lot more after that, and but it was like a little bit actually surprised. I mean, I was really surprised with that sort of interaction. Especially if you wait for somebody all morning till 2:30 p.m., let's say, like that. So and if you say them, I mean, at least what they can say, oh, I'm sorry, I was like, I didn't realize that that's a hill in front of me, or I'm sorry because it was some rain. No problem, I don't have a problem. I just mentioned that I'm waiting for him. So if you feel offended by that, I don't know either. Anyway, so honestly, that's all what I need to tell you. So I'd like to explain that to my subscribers, certainly who is interested to to host people on Warm Showers is more than welcome to do that, because I actually host at least, I would say, at least 20, 30, 40 people, maybe something like that, in my life, and I never have that sort of experience. Even if maybe some people have a problem with my name, at least they didn't mention. They were looking forward to meet God, and when they realize that I'm love, and I show them with with accommodation, with with food, with everything, that's from my perspective love in action. And I love to do that, don't misunderstand me. But certainly you should have some appreciation too for somebody who is waiting for you for like 6 hours, or need to clean the flat before you come, and certainly after you go, or after you left. And if that somebody is spending some time for you and some money too, then at least don't attack him, and don't try to change their names, or even their at least you should respect that they they feel a little bit uncomfortable when they're waiting for you for like all morning and a little bit of the afternoon. Anyway, so that's just a tip for all people who are traveling over Warm Showers. And I know that I saw a lot of videos how you should accept guests and from Warm Showers, and sometimes for sure you have some people like that. And my dear Ignacio, I don't know, wherever you're traveling, I wish you luck, and I wish you all the best, and I still love you wherever you are and wherever you will go. And I don't know, that's not the way how your host should be treated. But if that is an American way, okay, maybe that's American way. I don't know. I actually host only maybe a few Americans. Maybe, I don't know. I traveled through America once, and I didn't have that sort of experience, at least. So I love you all. God, Franci. To all people from Warmshowers who will passing Novo Mesto, you're more than welcome. And now what I'm expecting from you, not just thinking what you should expect from me. So that's it. Bye.